Next new method inside of the catalog class is called isDuplicateProduct. So public function isDuplicateProduct. And we pass in the identity as the first parameter, by default null. Then we have ID, by default null. Now inside of this isDuplicate, we check if is an empty identity. Then obviously after this we return false. Then we go for the SQL statement, select all from this underscore table to where identity equals single quote, and this db escape identity, then concatenating with a double quote single quote, and then we check if isn't empty ID, then SQL we concatenate this with and ID does not equal, and again same situation, so I'm just going to copy this one, but this time rather than identity we're going to have ID. This is obviously when we're going to be editing. The first part will be for any type, whether we're adding or editing, and this is an empty ID. The only time we're going to be passing ID as a parameter is when we're editing the record, to make sure that obviously the record with to exclude this record with this specific ID, because obviously it's going to have the same identity. Then we have result equals this db fetch all SQL, return is an empty result. That means it's true, otherwise it's false. So basically, is it duplicate? If we found the result, that means yes, it is duplicate because we already have this kind of record in the database. Otherwise, it's false. Now, the same thing, if we copy the entire block, if we scroll down a little bit, create a few new lines, and now paste it again, we're going to do is duplicate, and this time we're going for the category. Category, obviously rather than table 2, we have table, and then identity as well. With the ID, the same situation, fetch all SQL. So basically the same thing, it's just we're changing the name of the table. So now we can find out whether the category with this specific identity already exists or not, whether with products with this specific identity exists or not. And why we're using this? Because obviously identities will be in the URLs. We need to make sure that none of the products have the same identity. Otherwise, obviously, we're not going to get the right, we may come across a situation that we're going to get the right product if two products have the same identity. And because we're using them as static URLs, they have to be obviously unique at this point.